Welcome back to the We Make Pops podcast. We are joined here today by a very special guest, someone we have mentioned 100 times on the podcast already, the one and only Vet Draws. How are you today?
Hey guys, thank you for having me here. I'm a little nervous because, I have like stage fright. But I'm glad that I was finally able to join you guys. I keep delaying it because of school. I just graduated. I have other projects to do. So yeah, I'm happy to be able to be here with you guys. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, and congrats on graduating. That is amazing. Very happy for
Absolutely.
you. We did want to real quick just kind of let everyone know why we've been on hiatus for the last couple of weeks. We are getting into the busiest time of year for parents, the summer season. And so we have both been me and Andy have had a little bit of difficulty getting our schedules lined up to do an episode, but it looks like we are finally back on track. And we're coming back with a bang, starting with Vet Draws. We also have a little bit of we have a special episode coming up after this one we've been prepping for and rewatching old episodes to get ready for it. So after this episode, we'll have a lot of to talk about for our 10th episode. Andy, I don't know if there's anything you want to say on that before we start interviewing the man, the myth, and the legend.
Yeah, no, it's just super exciting that we're going to be able to do this episode. So you guys keep an eye out for that. Without further ado, here we are to talk to David, aka Vet Draws. So how are you doing?
Pretty good. Just fresh off of school. So I'm just like working on different things, some pops, some paintings. I'm everywhere. So it's been a little bit chaotic, and summer is gonna be chaotic for me as well. So, you know, we'll see how it goes from there. But I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good. Yeah, we're so excited to interview you. So tell us a little bit about yourself. So you just finished college. What did you go to college for?
So I don't know. I've said this a couple of times before, but the vet part of my username is for veterinarian. I'm studying to be a veterinarian. I just finished my pre-vet, my undergrad, and then I'm thinking about going to vet school, but it's a little pricey and I'm kind of broke. So I have to wait and see how that goes. So yeah, I just graduated with my animal science degree basically, and it's a pre-vet path, so you can go to vet school.
Very cool. Oh, I did not know that. I was going to ask, that was my next question, is where did you get your name? But you already answered that. That's so cool that you mixed it up for vet. Okay. I love it. So that's so cool.
Yeah, I spent like a good 2 days thinking about it when I wanted to create a different Instagram account. I was like, what should I do? And then it came up and I was just like, wow, okay, this works. It's easy, it's not too long, people can remember it. But people think that I'm a veteran, and I'm like, no,
Yep.
I want to be a veterinarian.
Yep. That's what I used to think too. I was like, vet, maybe he's a vet. Oh no. That's so funny.
No. Thank you for your service, David. We really
thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
But you just recently graduated, correct? Like within the last week?
It was basically a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at your page here. I got you on my other monitor. You have been extremely busy for someone who is still wrapping up school and whatnot. And I've seen a lot of Demon Slayer right now. You kind of tell us about that. You seem to be on a Demon Slayer kick.
Yeah, you can see it in my background. You can see it on my shirt. I'm like, it's Demon Slayer Sunday. I love Demon Slayer. I don't know. There is something about the animation, the story, the characters. It's just very appealing to me, and I love that. Even, I don't know, I feel like I even like it a little bit more than Naruto, even though Naruto has been my favorite of all time. I think it's just because season 3 is happening right now, so that's why I'm like, I like Demon Slayer a lot more right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, like try to balancing school and projects for the followers, for you guys. It's been hard. It's a challenge. I would like to work on more stuff and post more often. I try to post at least once a week, but sometimes it got hard, and I was like, I need to pull through. I need to not go to sleep and finish a project so I can have something to show. I don't do it only for the followers, but I also do it because I like it, and it's a little bit of, I don't know, like a way to disconnect from all the stress outside. And I like to work on my collection, so it works out for me.
Oh, that's
That's
awesome.
amazing. That's awesome. So you just been that's something that we've talked about before, that no one really thinks about that when you start an Instagram account like this, like an art one, where you have to constantly come up with the content, and you're like, it can be definitely a little bit scary when you first start out. So that's amazing that you were able to balance school and this, because you were pumping out a lot of stuff, and it's like quality stuff. So it's not just like you're whipping stuff together. It's really cool. So props to you for being able to do that, because it's definitely a grind.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I try my best.
It's actually funny seeing you going through this Demon Slayer kick. Whenever I think of you, I always think of Demon Slayer because of that collab that we did with the Blacklight Demon Slayer.
I know, right? It's been
Um,
like over a year since we did
yeah,
that.
yeah. I did the Blacklight Inosuke. You did the Blacklight Zenitsu,
Zenitsu.
right? Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so
Nappy did
cool.
Tanjiro, and then Funky Sis. I don't know if I'm saying their name right, but they did Nezuko, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so seeing you go through this Demon Slayer kick, it's almost nostalgic. Just getting to look at all the stuff that you're doing. But like you said, you not only are working on pops, but you're working on paintings. And a lot of these glows are just bright. Me and Andy have not been entirely truthful. We did have an alternative reason for bringing you on today. Andy, if you would like to approach that subject for us.
Oh my goodness. We need tips on how to do glows like you do, because we are just like, they come out so clean, and we are just like, oh my goodness, we have no idea how you do it. Especially red. I have had the hardest time with red. And I'm just seeing everyone with these like brilliant red glows. So what can you tell us? What's something you can give up that can help us out with red glows and just glows in general?
So my journey with glows, it all started with basically me wanting to put some extra work on my paintings. I never intended to just work on pops, make them glow, and make them available for purchase. So I basically started getting random powders from Amazon. To be honest, I just got the cheapest ones, and I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna mix this to put it on a painting, but we'll see how it goes. I started with like mixing it with Mod Podge. That's what you can see in like that big Demon Slayer painting that I made, and is painted on my profile. Um, yeah, I mixed it with Mod Podge, and yeah, it glows. It looks good, but I didn't like the texture. I am very picky with texture. I don't like that. So that pushed me to like try different mediums. I even tried with nail polish, transparent nail polish.
Okay.
And I was like, it was tricky because it dries out really fast, and it didn't work out. I have a ton of little pops that I tried on different paints and different techniques, and it's really hard. I've been working on this for like almost 2 years, basically. And it's really hard to find your own technique, your own ratio, your own everything. I have a ton of like little containers of paint. Let me show you. So I have a ton of these. I mix
Okay.
them up. I try all different ratios. Right now, it just comes out naturally for me. So it's a little bit hard to like explain how I do it. Just like boop, 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 mix it. But yeah, my way, since I don't do airbrushing, is just finding some medium to mix the powder or mix the paint or whatever I'm using, and just try to see if it works with just a really thin layer, or if it works out to be a thick layer but it's going to be transparent, or it's going to look like the color behind like the vinyl.
Gotcha.
So for reds, it's very tricky because, you have different colors that glow, right? And the blues and greens are the ones that glow the most. They last for hours. They just so easy to work with. And then you have yellows, pinks, and reds, and those last like a few seconds, basically. They're annoying to work with. You just have to accept that they're not gonna last too long. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing I can tell you about reds specifically, just that, you have to accept that they don't work out to be like the greens or the blues or even teals. They
Right.
last a lot longer. Or whites. Whites also last a bit longer. But what I can say is just keep testing different reds from different brands. Some of them are more, if you get paints or if you get powders, you work them differently. If you get paints, some of them are very thick. You're gonna have to dilute them somehow. Some of them are very diluted, and then the powder that comes in that mix, it will fall and it will basically be on the bottom. So you have to constantly mix it. You have to be quick, and yeah, it depends on what brand or what presentation you're getting your red. So yeah, just keep trying, keep testing. You'll find a way that that specific red that you're getting is gonna work for what you want. It was really hard for me to work with red first. I had the first Funko Pop that I got was from my parents for Christmas, and that Funko Pop is like Frankenstein because it's full of paint, it's full of different things that I've been testing on. I'm like, it's crazy. I should have brought it and show you. Um, but yeah, red is really hard to work with. Just keep testing and try to find your own way to work with it because it is different from powder or paint. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely different. It's hard with the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Lewis. What were you gonna say?
No, you go. I'll follow up.
I was just gonna say it is definitely difficult because I've done a few different glows with it, and it comes out. The ones that I get either look pink or orange when you glow them, or it's so like thick white on it, like it's not very transparent, like you can just see it on there. And so and I've seen people that have it where it doesn't even look like that at all, like it looks very natural and it looks very red. So that's awesome. So you use different powders and you mix that. Is that come with a mixture? Because I haven't done the powders yet.
No, you just have to find a medium that works.
Okay, so you just use
for you.
stick. Okay.
Yeah, that's basically why I used Mod Podge in the beginning, because I was like, Mod Podge goes translucent once it's dry, right? But the texturing, it was killing me. So I was like, I need to find a different medium. I don't know if airbrushing medium works out, but I don't do airbrushing, so it's kind of hard, You just have to find something that works out for you. Because I'm pretty sure that other glow artists, like, I don't know, like Notorious, he uses a different medium, or you see Good Boy, he uses something totally different. A Master Brush, he also uses something different. So everyone is, working with something different.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I also see that you have not only mastered glow, but you've also taken a step into 3D printing.
Yeah. That's been tricky. So I got my resin printer literally a week ago. My best friends and my partner decided to chip in and bought me my first resin printer.
Wow.
I had a filament printer, but it also gives me a lot of texture, and I hate that. I love how Gyoko, who was the first, no, actually that was my second. My first print with filament was Anya, who I decided to give it as a Valentine's present. But I hated, some people pointed out that it had a lot of texture. And I knew that, but getting those comments from other people would like, okay, I need to work on the texture because I really, really hate it. So then I worked on Gyoko. I changed like the settings of the printer and became a little less texture, but you can still see it. So I kept talking to my best friends, to my partner. I was like, I am thinking about getting a resin printer. And then they just decided to go behind me, talk about it. They don't usually talk. And they decided to surprise me in like my graduation party. They're like, look, this is for you. They decorated the box with really ugly pictures of me But I was not expecting that, and I was like, wow, okay, thank you. So like, okay, I needed this, but now, as you can see in like the story I just posted a few hours ago, is super super tricky, at least for me, to get a good print, because like it works in the first one, but the second one something happens, and I'm like, it feels weird because you know that you're wasting money basically, but it is also practice. So basically, it's just the same thing I did with the glows. I spent a lot of money trying to figure out how to use it. And now that I know how to use it, I don't spend as much money. So yeah, and using the 3D printer has been really great because I love the resin prints. They don't look textured, they look clean. So I don't have to do a lot of sanding. I don't have to do a lot of things. They look ready to paint, sorry. So yeah, it's been tricky. I've been trying to print for a few days. I've been having a lot of trouble. Master Roshi has helped me a lot. You know, do this, do that. Um, this other guy who I get files from, let me pull up his account really quick just to give him a shout out because he really helps me a lot. Dreamy Studio 3D.
Okay.
I see
He
their
has
stuff.
helped me a lot too. He's really nice, and he's like, if you need help with your resin printer, just let me know because I had this one a few years ago, and he has been my savior. So I really appreciate that from him. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I've only ever gotten to interact with a 3D printed pop once in my life. It was the one from Pop Therapy. I keep it here on my desk. And what surprised me is how light they are. Like as I'm like holding this, it's just there's no weight to it at all. But you're right, it's so clean and like it's just it's much more unique than like working like on like physical pops like we've all done in the past. It's I can't even imagine learning how to do this.
Yeah, it's great, but I also love to work with like clay. So that's how
Yeah.
I did my Akasa moment last what's it, like 2 weeks ago basically.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't want to just rely on 3D prints, you know, I also want to do my craft and do it by hand. So if I can find a file and if I can get a hold of it, I'm just gonna make it, you know. So I love the 3D print, but I also like to just make it by myself, you know.
That's
So
amazing. What kind of clay do you use?
I use Super Sculpey, I think. I don't know. I don't remember the name, but it's Primo, I think. It's a Sculpey Primo.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if that's the best one to use. I haven't sold any clay pops just yet because I'm afraid that it's gonna break in shipping. But I've been asking different people. Augie told me what he used before he was in the podcast, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try and see. I haven't gotten the chance to buy some of his like the clay that he uses, but I'm gonna try and get it because I really want to be able to sell those pops as well. You know, like play work. I'm just afraid that it's gonna break.
Yeah, we've talked about that a few times. Clay pops, it's you put it in the mail and you hope for the best, but
yeah,
oh god, all it takes is those fragile little pieces. We when we were talking to Augie, he not only told us about his sculpting techniques, but the stuff he uses to smooth it down after the fact.
Oh yeah, I have that one too.
Yeah, I was about to ask, have you been using that as well?
I actually used it for Akasa, yeah.
Did you?
Okay. I was watching
awesome.
the episode with Augie while I was working on it. So I was like, you know what? I have it already, so why not use it? Because I also heard that you can use isopropyl alcohol, but it just evaporates really quick. So I decided to use that one with a little brush, and it worked out. You know, I think the pants look good because that's where I use the clay. I don't think they look like, I don't know, like I attached them. I think they looked like they were there basically. I don't know. Maybe it's just a picture. I'm delusional.
No, it looks incredible. It looks really good.
Thank you.
I'll make sure to throw it up on the screen so everyone can take a look at it too. Because I loved this moment. This looks so good.
Yep. The Rengoku.
I've been working on it for the longest time. I worked for it. Like, I wanted to do it from the beginning of this year. I think I wanted to do it from January, and then I saw this episode where Louis just said, "I want to make an Akasa and Rengoku moment." I was like, "Geez, okay, I'm working on this. I hope we don't post it the same week." I was like, "I need to finish it." So I was like, "Damn, okay."
That's why we're here today,
But,
Draws. I'm confronting you. What's up with that?
Yeah. What's up?
I'm sorry, I didn't take your idea.
As he's working on it, he's like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah, I literally
Yep,
paused
that's
the
over.
video for a moment. I was like, "Ooh."
That's
Yeah.
the dangers of being a custom artist with Funkos is
Mhm.
you're gonna have some overlap for sure.
Mhm.
Let's share screen while I report this real quick to Instagram. Get them to take
Insta-
this down.
Oh my gosh.
Copyright. No,
No,
but I'm
we
pretty
did
sure
this
that
too.
if you work on that, I'm pretty sure you're gonna make it amazing. Because I I love your little Naruto moment. I was like, all of them, because I started talking to you when you posted the Minato and Obito one. I was like, how did he make Obito to look like he's actually on the floor and just, his arms up and whatever? I was like, that's amazing. I was like, you gave me some inspiration to work with clay, basically, because I was being too afraid to work with clay. And I was like, you know what? I can do this too. Like, not copy, but I can work on clay just like he did. And then I texted, I was like, that was amazing. I love it. And then, like, a few months ago, you posted this Naruto one with like the different tiers, and you gave me sneak peeks, and I was like, that looks amazing.
the Team 7 piece. I remember the Minato versus Obito one. And it's so fun. I'm gonna tell everyone now something that I've never admitted on the podcast before, I don't think. As I was making the Minato versus Obito one, I hated it. There were so many times I was looking at it and I was like, this looks awful. I hate it. And then that was like my first one that blew up. Like everyone liked that. I was getting shares by like Vinyl Alchemist and MD and Otaku. And I was like, okay, well, I guess everyone loves this one. But to this day, I have to like display it a certain way on my shelf for me to not just want to like tear it down and put it in a box. I don't know what it is, but I'm glad that everyone else likes it. It'll just sit up there forever, just taunting me.
I think as artists, we tend to be super harsh on our work. And that's why I hate like texture. I'm like, no, I cannot post this if it doesn't look clean. So
Yeah.
I get that from you, like it's hard when you did something and you want to make it perfect and everyone else says it's amazing, but you're like, I can do it, I can do something better. I can
Yeah.
fix it. But honestly, I love that, and I wanted to steal it. To be honest, I was like, I don't have space, but I'll make space for it.
Shoot, I told you, come to Florida, we'll make something happen. We'll get you hooked up. Honestly, I mean, I remember you were talking. You reached out to me forever ago, around that time, and we've kept in touch. And I love getting to see all your work, and I love seeing how your page has grown and your style's changed. Me and Andy were talking about. We've had a chance to meet just a lot of really cool people throughout the podcast and through our pages. And like we say in every episode, that's the goal, right? That's what we want this to be, and we want everyone to have that experience. And it's just always cool to talk to people who like embody that before we started this. You get to, if you go through our messages, we've been going back and forth for months, if not over a year now, just on different projects. And so it's just super cool to see like how the community can be bonded and together.
Yeah, I love that. I like talking to you. I like talking to Andy, even if it's not for projects. I'm just like, Andy texted me. He's like, "Did you see the episode?" And I was like, "That was amazing.
Yeah.
The animation was fire." I love doing that. Just talking about anything and everything. Because I didn't make this account just to post my things and be like, I don't care about other people or whatever they text me. I made it because I want to also meet other people who do what I do, and we can share that, and we can share ideas, and we can just help each other and support each other. And that's why I always try to like share your posts or whoever is posting, and I love it. I'm just like, shout out to you. I don't care if you take customers from me. Go ahead. I don't care. That was amazing. You deserve the credit. So yeah, I love that. And I love the idea of having the podcast too, because you guys told me even before you started, you're like, we're working on something. We'd love to have you there. Because it was, I think it was around December or November last year that you told me
Yep.
about it. I was like, I can't wait to join. But then I started school and it was crazy. So I kept delaying it. But I love this idea. I get really nervous in like interviews and like video calls and stuff like that. So if you see me like mumbling a little bit, it's because I'm nervous. But I love being here and just being able to share a little bit of myself and also my, how to say this, basically why I do things, you know, why I'm working here, why did I create Vet Draws, basically.
Absolutely. That's amazing. I love that. And it's just, yeah, it's been so great to be able to talk to so many cool people that share this very specific hobby. It's like not many people, like some people, you know, most people will know what Funko Pops are, but yeah, it's like to say I customize them or paint them up, and it's very different. And so that's so cool to be able to connect with other people that do that too and do it so well and do such a great job at it. Tell us a little bit about how you got into cell shading, because you that's been pretty new too a little bit, and you've been doing really, really well with it.
Thank you. I try my best because I don't read manga, as Andy knows. I told him I don't read manga. The only manga I know I have right now is Demon Slayer, and I bought it because it was cheap, and it's over. So there is no more manga volumes coming up. So, you know, seeing Andy's work, seeing Deep Thought Studios work, I'm like, this is amazing, and I love to add some little like details to my work. Whenever I don't put a lot of glow, I want to add something else, either metallics or a different painting style or something like that. I was like, I wanna mix different techniques, different things, you know, and some people like it, some people don't. I didn't really enjoy it at the beginning. I was like, this is not my style, this is not what I do. But then, you know, once you're working on it and then you see the results, you're like, actually it looks kind of cool, you know, it's a little oomph to the plain paint that they put on Funko Pops. So I try my best. I'm not the best at cell shading just yet because I haven't practiced as much. But you know, I'm just like, I need to, the process that I do for that I go through for cell shading is basically I put a lot of like my view on paintings, like 2D paintings on the cell shade. So basically what I'm doing is taking a picture, put a light on it and see where the shadows come. And then I just do the cell shading like that. Because sometimes it's really hard to like figure out where to put like the shade. You need to put like a reference point. And that's what I do. I put the flashlight, take a picture and see where it falls. And then I pin it like that. I'm like, okay, we'll see. We'll put a little bit more, how to say it, like clean. Basically, it's not gonna look like a shadow, but it's gonna look sharp, just like manga. But that's how I do it. I'm like, okay, I don't know how else to do it, but I'm gonna see, and then I get inspired from you, and I get inspired from Dip Thought, and I'm like, okay, we'll see how it goes. We'll see if they like it. I don't do it a
No,
lot.
it's awesome.
Yeah, I'm just afraid that a lot of people won't like it, but I'm like, let's try something new, you know?
I think it's incredible. I think you're doing a really good job. I think you should keep it up because it really adds, at least for me, because maybe I'm just biased because that's my style. I like that. So I'm just like, do more. But I honestly, the Megumi and the Nobara that you did look really good. And so like, I think it's very impressive. And that's such a great way, such a good tip to do the cell shading, like you said, with the light, and then you have the shadows, so you have that reference point. I usually use pictures. That's another way you can do it for references, and you just copy that. But yeah, no, it's such a great tip for anyone else who's trying to start out and wants to get into cell shading and to do it that way.
Yeah, and then you can also get the references from manga. I mean, I started my cell shading work, excuse me, with Gojo. I made this Gojo with I think it was the red technique.
Yes.
And I was like, I saw this image online, and I was like, you know what, I can add that to my Gojo because it was very basic. I didn't put glow in the hair because putting glow in the hair, at least for me, is really hard because I have to put so many layers. I have to wait so like a long ass time. So I decided to add a different thing instead of putting glow on the hair. And it was only glow in the red piece. So I was like, like, let's try with this and see if it works out. It wasn't perfect, but it was my first time doing it. So I was like, it looks cool. It looks different. So yeah.
Well, I love that, and I love that you brought up the Megumi and the Nobara, and I love that you brought up the Gojo. So right now, that's my kick. I'm, right now, Jujutsu Kaisen is my Demon Slayer, if you will. When I saw those come up on my feed, I was so excited. Like, they looked so cool, and I immediately picked up like that's not normally that draw style. So getting to see how you did it, like that inspired me. You've heard on a few of the episodes now. I am putting off doing this pain with the cell shading. So now I've seen another artist taking the first step, so I have no more excuses. I just gotta bite the bullet. But it looks so good, and you've taken to this style so naturally. And so I just love that. Getting to see that from you and seeing how quickly you knocked it out. Like you're doing like 2 tones in the hair and on the uniforms, and even making the things glowed like different colors once they're in the glow. Like it's just fantastic. It's really taking your style and the cell shading style and putting them together, and just amazing to see.
Thank you. I mean, if I work on 2D pieces of anime, might as well do it on 3D pieces, which are Funko Pops, I don't do it a lot because it's just not my style. I'd rather leave that to the pros.
Right.
Andy and DT, you guys do an amazing job with cell shade, and I'm like, I can put it in some of my work, but it's not gonna be my focus. Yeah.
I think it should be your focus. I think you should keep doing it.
Okay.
It's really good. It's really good. It adds to it so much. And I love, because the Gojo that you did, I love the red on the shoes and the red on his on the blindfold. Like it just works really well. So I think, keep it up because it looks amazing. I love it.
I'll have that in mind then, my next project.
So speaking of which, since you transitioned us so naturally, what are some of the upcoming projects?
So, I try to do what my followers want, basically. Not all the time. I work on my own stuff, and I don't want to sound rude at anything, but I don't care if they like it or not. I'm like, I want to have my little moment and post whatever I want. But lately I've been posting a lot more polls and more stuff to see what they want to see. And usually that correlates with what I want to work, So right now I'm going through the Demon Slayer era where I just decided to post only Demon Slayer content because season 3 is out. And I've been waiting for the longest time to, see season 3 or watch season 3, sorry. So right now I'm just working on pops related to Demon Slayer or paintings related to Demon Slayer. So that's basically it. Right now I just finished working this past week on a Muchiro painting that I talked to Andy about. He told me months ago, he was like, you know what, it would be amazing if you could do this. Or I don't remember when, like weeks, maybe not months, but weeks. And it would be amazing if you can do like a Muichiro fighting or some different pose, because I had worked on that little chibi Muichiro and Mitsuri thing. And I thought it was cute, but it wasn't like something amazing or that people would really fall in love with. It was just, I think that those weeks I was very busy, but I was like, I need to post something, so I'm gonna make this because it's not gonna take a long time. But now, if you guys want to see it, since I'm gonna post it this week and people want to see this, so this is the painting. Oh, Jesus! It's a little like bitter moment, manga moment, and then it has a little surprise. I don't know. Jesus, I hate it.
It's all blurred out.
Let me see if I can take my thing off. Okay, perfect. My room is a mess. Sorry about that. But here it is.
Let's see it. Oh my goodness.
That's amazing.
And then it has a little surprise. I don't know if I should show you right now because you won't be able to see it. But stay tuned and you'll see what happens with it.
Well, so far it looks incredible. That is amazing.
Thank you.
Nice.
I try my best.
Yeah. No,
It's
that's
gonna
amazing.
glow.
What kind of yeah, is it glow? Does it glow? He's like, I
know.
don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Who knows? What kind of mediums do you use for it? Like for painting when you do your paintings?
That's acrylic paint and Mod Podge and some glitter. I usually don't do glitter because I hate glitter.
Me too.
But I was like, you know what? I want to try something different on this one, so I decided to give it a glitter background.
Let's say, let me call Squirrely in real quick and let y'all hash that out because
Yeah, because he's all.
I'm sorry about that. It's just
Oh my
it's so
goodness.
messy.
I can't do glitter either. It's the worst.
Yeah,
can't
it
handle
gets
it.
everywhere.
Yep.
So I had to mix the glitter with the Mod Podge so it wouldn't fly away. Which is not the best way to do it because it doesn't cover as easy as if you lay down the Mod Podge first and then you put the glitter on top. But I'd rather do that than having glitter in my room for weeks. So
Right. Exactly.
yeah.
No, it's such a mess. Yeah. No, I hear you. So I was gonna ask. So you mentioned that your parents got you a Funko Pop, your first one. What was it?
It's funny because the first Funko Pop that I got is its name is David, like me. They got it from the 99 cents and they would like, you like Funko Pops, so here it was cheap. And I was like, oh cool. Like I didn't care that it was from the 99 cents or that I didn't know where it came from, like
Right.
line wise. I was like, oh, that's cool. And I just displayed it. And now I use it to test everything. I don't know if you guys want me to bring it because that's a little bit messy. Like the actual pop is a little bit messy, but I could show you if you guys want me to bring it.
oh
Let's
yeah,
see.
absolutely.
I want to see it. I think it'd be so
Okay.
cool.
Let me try and bring it.
I love that. It's so cool to hear everyone's different stories of how they get into it and what started it.
So this is David. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know the line. It has a Sharingan. It has the mouth of Aluka and Nanika. It has different paints everywhere. You
Oh,
can
that's
see
awesome.
this is red paint. I was trying to test how to make it translucent or look red instead of white. It
Mm-hmm.
didn't work out here. I tried it here and it looks better, but it doesn't glow as well. And then I have like different paints that I've been testing. I tested like white spray and yeah, I have a ton of different pops that have different paints or different techniques on, so I can put it on like an actual pop. But this is
That's so
David, and it
cool.
was my first pop.
So cool. So you just did you get into it after that? You're like, oh, these are kind of cool, and then
No, so ever since I have memory, well, I'm not that old, so when I was like probably 10, I saw them in like the store, and they were like the really old molds. I was like, they look cool, and I love having little figurines. I was obsessed with dinosaurs when I was younger. So having like toys and not actually play with them, but just display them. And I was like,
mm-hmm.
this is what I wanted. Like, this is what I want. But where I was living, they were super expensive. And I was a kid, so I didn't have money, and my parents didn't have money for that. So once I got my first ones, then I started getting gifts from other people, just like, oh, here, there's a Harry Potter one. And I love Harry Potter. So I started getting more. And then yeah, basically I will try to find like different deals online and stuff and start getting. I remember that I had them all in one shelf in my bookshelf, which wasn't that big. And they were so tight. You can't see anything. You can see the first row. Everything in the back is just but I was like, these are cool, I love them and just having them there is nice. So after that I decided to get more and more and more. And it's been hurting my wallet for a few years, but I love it. I started getting a lot more after I decided to bite the bullet and buy the whole set for Hunter x Hunter in 2021, I believe.
Oh, cool.
it was my first purchase of like multiple pops from the Funko shop, and I'm like, uh-oh. That was the moment I realized I shouldn't have done that, because I started buying a lot more often. I was like, "Ooh, I don't have money for this, so I have to figure out a way to get money." And then I started selling my paintings, and then that led to me working on pops.
That's awesome.
So-
I love that story.
Have you completed the Hunter x Hunter set? Have you kept it 100%?
I'm not a completionist because I don't have space. So I have the main ones. I love Gon. I don't love Gon, actually. Yeah, I like him, but it's not my favorite. I love Killua. So the
Killua is
Killua
cool.
ones, I have them all. Well, basically the two of them that there is. I don't do the chases because the chase for Killua is the glow. So I glow. I just worked on mine. Like, I'm not gonna pay $60 for it, so I worked on mine. I also have Leorio, Kurapika, Parolo, because I don't know, it's cool. I like them. And then what else do I have? Hisoka, and I recently just traded for Pito. I still have it. I have her in a box because I display mine in auto box. I have shelves around my room, and I just put them. I don't know if you saw them when I took the background off.
Yeah.
But they're in the back. But yeah, I try not to be a completionist because I don't have space. I try to be with one of the worst lines, which is My Hero Academia, and I realized quickly that there was not enough space for me to get the whole thing. So right now I'm just like really slowing down. I stopped altogether for My Hero Academia, even though I love Todoroki. I wanted to get the new Todoroki from
The new one, yeah.
But I was like, you know what? I don't have space. And if I'm gonna get My Hero Academia, it better be like really good, like amazing mold for me to get it. Or it's Hawks. I love Hawks. Hawks. Is my profile. So I have a little shrine for Hawks. So that's my bias. And then I also stopped for Naruto and decided just to continue with Demon Slayer. Like Demon Slayer, I can continue. I'm not a completionist for Demon Slayer either, because I don't do chases, to be honest. I don't like to spend a lot of money on chases, no matter what. So I just decided to get all the different characters, maybe different molds. I have all of the Inosuke ones, but I don't like it. I just want to keep one. I have the different ones for Tanjiro because they're different, they have different things, but the Inosuke ones are they're not as great. But yeah, that's a little bit of the story with me and Funkos. I cannot
That's
be
awesome.
a completionist.
Yeah, no, it's very expensive.
I'm a semi-completionist. So Naruto line, I will 100% it. I will have every Naruto pop ever. I'm working on a leg sleeve. On a leg sleeve for my leg. I'm getting a leg tattoo, a leg sleeve, of just Naruto manga panels. That is like my favorite anime. And so I have to complete the Naruto set. Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen. I want to get all of the basic molds, but chases, I'm kind of with you. I'm like, if the only difference is it glows or something like that, I'll pass. But the Toto chase that they just did, where it's like he's holding the weapon, cool. That one I ordered the 6-pack. I'm gonna get 5 commons, but my excuse is I'm gonna use those as testing for the cell shading. So that was my justification.
I'll steal one of your Totos.
He's like, I'll take one.
Yeah, no, I heard that you wanted to test different things on those Totos before. I think you mentioned it in one of the episodes. And you're like, oh, I'm gonna test cell shading, or I'm gonna test glitter, I think you mentioned, or something different. I was like, I'm gonna tell him that I'm gonna steal one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the Boruto. I'll send you a Boruto and a Toto.
Oh yes, it was the Borushiki.
Yeah, I've ordered 2 chase packs, and oh my god, I hate doing it, but I also don't want to spend 60 on the chase when the chase bundle is only 90. It's like,
yeah,
fine, I'll get 5 extra pops. I needed the common anyway, so
I did that once with Azula from Big Apple.
Yep.
Okay. I was like, I need that Azula. And actually, I don't like the chase. I worked on a common and I decided to keep the common there. I'm probably going to sell the chase because I'm like, I already have a better glowing one.
Yeah.
Might as well just sell the chase. But after that, I decided not to get more chase bundles. I was like, it's really hard to sell them because people see the comments as comments even cheaper than regular price pops. And I'm like, no, I don't want to waste more money, even though I've been doing it for the past 2 years. So, yeah, I'll steal one of your turtles.
I got you. See, what I need you to work on for me, I'll probably send it to you with the Toto, is the Hot Topic Kawaki. You know the one I'm talking about, the one that doesn't glow, the one that's supposed to but doesn't. I might send you that and be like, here's the Boruto and Toto. I need you to hook me up with the actual.
Let's glow it.
I could do that. I actually worked on a Kawaki for a customer a few weeks or months ago. I received send-in, so they can send me the pop and I'll work on it, and I give them a discount because they send the pop, right? But they send the common, not the Hot Topic one. So I had to draw all the like karma markings and stuff. And I know I can do it. I can send you a picture of how it looked. I didn't post it because I was like, it's Kawaki. I don't like it. I don't really like Boruto. I only like the Naruto and Sasuke scenes, and that's it. Boruto. I tried to watch Boruto for like the first 50 episodes, and I was like, this is boring. I'm sorry. This is not Naruto Shippuden or anything. This is not for me.
I think we said the exact same thing with Luke on the Hydro Otaku episode. The first 50 episodes of Boruto are so hard to get through, but after that, it's the tuning exams and it picks up. But I want to get to the parts where like you see Borushiki, you know, that's gonna be cool. But God, I don't care about them going fishing. I don't.
Right?
It's like 10 episodes.
Is so bad. I just rather watch the videos on Facebook. You know, I watch what is important, and that's how I keep up. Basically, yeah.
That's so perfect. That's how I am with One Piece, because I don't know. I haven't watched One Piece. There's so many episodes, and I'm just like, I know the main parts. I know the characters and the cool stuff that happens.
Yeah, I tried watching One Piece. Sorry.
Oh, no.
You can go ahead and I tried watching One Piece first episode. I was like, this is not for me. I'm sorry, I'm not a pirate. It's not clicking. Yeah.
I think I've seen like 3 or 4 entire episodes of One Piece, not even like at the beginning. Like I saw the first episode. I think I saw part of the second. A buddy of mine was really into One Piece, so I saw like the Big Mom saga where like they're trying to rescue Sanji. I saw a few episodes there. And it looks cool. It looks like it gets a lot cooler from episode 1, but I hate the justification of, well, it gets really good in season 6, because I'm not sitting through 5 terrible seasons.
5 seasons
to get to the good stuff. But that's been my issue with One Piece. But like I said, I've seen the clips on Facebook, so I know a ton of the lore. I just don't know how it all connects.
I know, right? It's just better to watch the little clips on Facebook. It's faster, it's easier, and you don't have to watch 1,000 episodes to know what's going on.
Yep, exactly.
Aren't we almost at 1,100 now? Aren't we like at 1,060 something at this point?
It's a lot of episodes. I can't remember. I know they reached 1,000. They had like the 1,000 episode big extravaganza thing. Yeah, no, that's too many. Too many episodes.
Honestly, I would be fine if Naruto had like over 1,000. I would rewatch it because Naruto was my first anime, and I was like, I'm a ninja.
There you go.
Yeah, that one clicked.
See, I'm almost on the opposite end of that when it comes to Naruto. If they were to reanimate Naruto, removing all of the fillers and just covering the arcs from the manga, I think that would be a really coherent show. Or if they wanted to extend it and make it all part of like the same show, like add Boruto in there, just make it all transition together, that would be fine. But I think when it comes to like part 1 and part 2, if they were to remove all of the filler, I think the anime would get a much better reputation, because what do you hear all the time when you talk about Naruto?
The filler.
Too much filler. So if they reanimated it and they removed it all, which I think Mr. Beast was like offering to pay for, right? Wasn't that like a thing on Twitter for a while?
To reanimate.
I think so.
After they did the 20th anniversary, I thought that's what was coming because they did the 20th anniversary thing and they reanimated a lot of really cool moments from the show. But then they also reanimated some scenes in there that like felt weird to reanimate. Like if this is a 20th anniversary celebration, why are you animating that scene? But I thought that was going to be the announcement, like, hey, we reanimated this scene because we're reanimating the whole show. And I was disappointed. They never did it, but we can hope.
I had mixed feelings about that video, the 20-year one. I was like, it's cool, but it feels wrong. Because I grew up watching this animation, like very flat, very, you have the funny moments like Pain when he gets hit and then he has a weird face, right? I love that, it's quirky, it's funny, it's something that you're gonna remember. And like the problem I have with a lot of anime right now is that they look so realistic that it doesn't look like anime anymore, I like the 2D. Well, I can't say that for Demon Slayer. I'm biased. I love Demon Slayer in season 3. It's amazing. But for other animes, I'm like, this just doesn't feel right. At least to me, people can love it and I don't judge or anything. But to me, I like the 2D, like very basic. It looks really nice. Yes, the animation is not the best, it's not perfect, but you get the idea and you see the fights, you see everything. So that video didn't like really strike anything on me. I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna stay with the old one. I like the old one. It's nice.
I think if we were to get a full remake, like a full top to bottom, every scene reanimated, they don't even have to re-record audio. Like keep the audio from the first time you did it, just reanimate it. I think there would be an adjustment period because you're right. That's what we grew up on, and we got to see the animation style change. But there's a part of me that would love to see Naruto from episode 1 to the end of the war, all with one consistent animation style. Because going from episode 1 Naruto, where the best resolution you were going to get was like 480p on the box TV, to like where we got towards the end, where it's like almost 4K. It looks so pretty. It's great, but it's I want it to be consistent from episode 1 to the end. I would love to see that, but I also know that it's same thing with like reanimating Dragon Ball Z. You almost don't touch the classics. You almost got to leave them where they are. Andy, what animes have you got to see kind of start to finish and get this reanimation treatment or anything like that?
I don't really have a problem with it. I'm fine with the animation and the changes. I don't get too picky about it just because I'll take whatever I can get. I'm just that way. And so yeah, no, I haven't. I've seen Attack on Titan all the way through, and that one got better. I feel like that animation got really cool. But yeah, there isn't really an anime that I'm like, oh, I don't like that anymore, or change my mind about it.
I have an anime that you might think that it needs to be worked on.
Which one?
Seven Deadly Sins.
Yeah, that's
Seven
a good
Deadly
point.
Sins. It was so bad at the end. Like, I'm sorry, but the animation looked really bad. The first few seasons they look really good, but the last few.
Who did the animation for the final couple of seasons? Because if I remember correctly, wasn't it like a pretty well-known company?
It had to.
It wasn't Mappa. It wasn't Unfoldable. Let's see. I'm on a computer. Hold up. Who animated Seven Deadly Sins? A1 Pictures produced the original. Studio Dean animated the sequel series and the first 2 movies.
So yeah, it did change.
Oh, and then finally, Alfred Imageworks are handling the production for Grudge of Edinburgh Part 1. So they've gone through a few companies, it looks like. They're at like 3 companies now. Meanwhile, it's Unfoldable that does Demon Slayer, right?
Yeah.
And then Mappa did Chainsaw Man, and what else did Mappa do recently?
Mappa's doing AOT. Doing that one.
I will say I loved the change in animation on season 4 of Demon Slayer, not Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan.
Yep.
Andy got me watching Attack on Titan, and I loved the first 3 seasons. They were so good. But then the transition to season 4, it was night and day, the animation style. Everything was not realistic. I don't know how to describe it. It just felt more.
It's almost computer generated more rather
Yeah.
than animated. Yeah.
Especially the fights in the city in the first couple of episodes, or even the war in the first like 2 or 3
Yep.
episodes. I don't know who took over for that. You said it was Mappa that took over?
Yeah, Mappa's doing it.
Mappa and Ufotable right now are like neck and neck, I think, for like best animations for anime because they're doing incredible.
Yeah.
I love the studio that's doing Boruto. What is it? Studio Period, I think. Period. I don't know. I like their work. I just feel like they're not being given the best story. And I think, have you all seen the clips of the most recent Boruto versus Kawaki fight? Have you all seen those?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
It's literally okay. So it's literally shot for shot other fight scenes that have happened in the show, just reanimated over with Boruto and Kawaki.
How weird!
Oh, yeah, man. And it's like it looks beautiful, like absolutely stunning. But they almost took like some people say it's a reference, but it's like most of the first half of the fight is just the exact same thing. It's like the Naruto versus Sasuke kid fight, the Naruto versus I think it was Kakashi versus Sasuke, Naruto versus Jigen. Like it was just all of those same fights, like the same choreography, just with Boruto and Kawaki. It just felt really weird and out of place.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird. I watched a video showing like side by side, and I was like, I don't know how to feel about that.
Right.
Like, you can change things. I think you're gonna spend the same amount of time and just do something different. So it doesn't. Yeah, you can get like the reference. You'd be like, oh, flashback to this, but I don't know. It felt weird to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Who's doing the new season of Jujutsu Kaisen?
Oh, isn't that Mappa? I think it was Mappa.
Is it? I feel like it's Mappa.
I think it is Mappa. Yeah.
Yep, Mappa Studios. How do you all feel about the trailers we've seen so far?
I'm super excited. You don't know about it? How you haven't read the manga, so you don't know what's coming.
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen, but from the videos, like season 1 and season 2 are gonna look so different.
They will look different, yeah. And then in the beginning of this one, we're gonna get a flashback with Gojo. So that's gonna be like, we think that it's gonna be the first half of the season. So you get to see a younger one. Younger Gojo. I think
they said it's 12 to 14 episodes. Though, if I'm being honest, I'm going to say this. I'm going to make a lot of people mad. I almost hope they stop season 2 there and just make what's after that season 3. Because if they try to wrap up all of that arc in 12 episodes, the remaining 12 of like a 24 episode season, they're going to have to cut so many corners. Like it's
going to be a lot.
Unless they stop it at like the point that I told you about, Andy. I'll put like an out of context screenshot so like people, I guess, will know which part we're talking about. I don't know if I even want to do that. I don't know.
Spoiler alert.
Right. Yeah, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, but here, look away from your screen in 3, 2, 1. All right, you can look back now. If it's at that part, then I think that's a good place to end the season and then wrap up the rest of the arc. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that would be cool.
But otherwise, it's going to be like a 36 episode season, which I'm okay with. But I just don't think that they're going to do it that way. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I hope they don't leave it on too much of a cliffhanger. But you haven't read the manga at all yet, have you, David?
No, but I've been like getting a spoiler from Facebook posts and stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, great. Now I know what's going on.
Yeah, that's what.
I usually don't mind the spoilers. I get annoyed with the Demon Slayer spoilers though, because I'm like, I really want to just watch the anime and I don't want to get spoilers, even though I have the full like box for manga, Demon Slayer manga. Like, I want to see it in the anime. I don't want to know. And now I know who dies and who doesn't. I'm like, that's annoying. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
But for other animes, I'm like, oh, okay, next. Like, I don't really care.
Right.
Like with Boruto, I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna happen. Okay, cool. I watch videos, whatever about it. But then if something comes out about Demon Slayer, I'm like, nope. Let's keep going.
Gotta keep it good.
Scroll
Yeah.
up.
Good.
Yeah.
Andy will try to like hint to stuff that's coming up, but like not tell me. I'll be like, oh yeah, I saw a Facebook post about that.
Yeah. I'm like,
He
what
does
the
the
hell?
same thing with me. I was like, you know what? Next episode is gonna be fire, and I'm like, does this happen? And he's like, okay, yeah. So you know
Yeah.
a little bit.
I know a little bit. Yep.
It's funny
Yeah.
because me and Andy will talk about stuff that is like actively happening in the manga, even though I'm not caught up. And I'm like, I'm so sorry that I know all of this already.
Yeah, that's funny.
But yeah, Andy actually is the one that got me into reading the mangas. I like have them all loaded up on my tablet, and I'm gonna tell you, it took me a while to like get like back into manga reading. I started from like season 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen, just so I could get into the flow of it before I got to the new stuff. And I'm gonna tell you, at least for Jujutsu Kaisen, I haven't gotten to Demon Slayer yet. It's Oh my god, it's made me more excited for the new seasons as opposed to like if I had just seen the trailers, because I know what's coming and I know how like pretty it's gonna be and like how cool the story is gonna be, and oh my god, the internet's gonna explode. Like
Mhm.
if anyone is on the fence about reading the manga, I'm just gonna tell you it will not decrease your hype, it will increase it tenfold. That
Yep.
is my advice to all of our viewers.
Yeah, I don't think I'll read the manga first.
He's not gonna do it. Yeah, he's like, I'm good.
I think it's more because I don't like reading as much. You know, I get like for some reason when I start reading, I just start thinking about something else. So I'm like, if I start reading this, it was really hard because I think the only manga that I read and I haven't finished is this volume that they released that it was for like a history between Jesus, Rengoku, and then you also have Giyu.
Oh,
I
I
think
know
it
what you're
was
talking about.
Water and Flame something.
Yep.
I was reading it and I wanted to finish it and I haven't finished it. And I bought it like probably like almost a year ago.
Oh,
It
man,
looks
yeah,
great on the shelf.
It is awesome.
It looks
That's a really
amazing
cool
on
one.
the shelf. Yeah, but I just can't read. It's just not my thing. You know, I'd rather just listen to it, look at it, watch it. But reading
Yeah.
is not my thing. Though
I
I really
gotcha.
love having the physical manga because it looks nice on my shelf. It looks
That's
great.
awesome. I love it. There you go.
Yeah.
Well,
That's so good.
we are about at time. David, I'm gonna give you the floor for a moment here. Are there any things that you want to give some hype to or build up for the audience, or anything you want to say to our audience and yours?
Well, this is the first time a lot of you, most of you have seen my face. I like to keep it, you know, private. I don't like to mix things just because, you know, I don't want to, I don't know, it feels weird. But it was really nice to be able to talk to you too, and in this sense, talk to the followers from your pages, from my page. Um, you know, talk a little bit about myself. I didn't give a lot of tips. I'm sorry. It's a
Oh, you're
whole
good.
process. It took me a whole year and a half, almost 2 years to learn. And it's hard, you know, like it's hard to come to this point where you can give tips to someone else so they can start. Um, I'm also a little bit weird about that sometimes because some people, you know, they just come and ask you as if you were Google. And, you know, I feel weird when they
Right.
just, hey, I need this. And I'm like, you know, greetings will take you a long way.
Yeah.
And that's what I tried every single time I talk to someone, even if it's like to you guys, I'm like, hey, I hope you're having a great day or something, you know. It's just like, to me, that makes it more, I don't know, like nice, you know, a better conversation than just like, hey, answer my question. So I'm sorry if I didn't answer a lot of tips in this podcast, or like didn't answer a lot of questions about like how I do things. But you know, I'm open to help people if, you know, they come with the good intentions, you know, just not because
Right.
sometimes it feels like they use you and then bye, you know, and I don't like that. I like talking to people. I like, you know, having a good conversation and also building a relationship like I have done with both of you. And I have done with many other artists, and you know that's something I really like because then I started saying, "Hey, we should collab," like I did with Louis. I'm talking to other artists right now and saying we should collab. We have there's a Discord from Jarto Collectibles, I think that's his
Mhm.
username. And then there's a lot of customizers there too. And I was like, we should collab. I like collabing with other artists, not just because we want to reach to other people, but we are working on our relationships, like building our network, our support. And I like that, just having friends that do what you like and who understand you, because sometimes other people who are not like in this world, like the customizing world or the Funko Pop world, won't understand your intentions, won't understand why you're doing this, won't understand a lot of things that you do. So I really like building that. And yeah, I'm really happy that I was able to come here and talk to you. It was really nice. I was very nervous before we started. I was like, oh my god, I hope I don't say anything wrong. But it was really nice talking about anime, and it just felt natural. I want to say thanks for that. It was really nice, and I'm sorry that it took so long for me to join, because I wanted to be like the first one. I was like, you tell me and I'll be in. But you guys started around the time I went back to school, so it was crazy. But yeah, thank you
No
for
worries.
everything, and I hope we can collab soon, because I really like collabing with you too.
Absolutely. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on, David. We really appreciate it. Even though don't worry that it took so long. Believe me, that's how our schedule's been too. We're like, I can't do it this weekend or any weekend. It's crazy. So yeah, no, you're totally good. Thank you for coming on. We really appreciate it. And we hope that your fans will continue to grow and see all your awesome stuff and your paintings and everything. So yeah, keep it up. We love to see your content.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to see both of you again, especially Andy, because you haven't posted in a while.
It's been a little bit.
Well,
Yeah,
both of you haven't posted in a while. So
Yeah,
I want to
actually,
see a
I
big
have-
comeback.
I have an unconventional, it's not a pop project, but it's another art project I did, and I need to get it into real form and throw it up on the page just to keep it active. But I should be posting that, if not tonight, tomorrow. So
yes,
something's coming, but it's an unconventional project for sure.
Okay, I'll keep an eye open so I can share. Can't wait to see what you're working on.
But no, I mean the sentiment from Andy, 100% same. We're so excited to have you on. We've mentioned you so many times on the show because you've just been such a huge inspiration for us, especially in the glow side of it. So really awesome to get to talk to you. I don't care what anyone says. I love getting to meet our heroes. So thanks for coming on with us. And
thank you.
Really, that's just it's been an honor. It's been an honor and a pleasure getting to speak with you today.
Thank you. Thank you. It was really nice. And, whatever I can do to help, just let me know.
Well, thank you all as well for tuning into another fantastic episode of the We Make Pops podcast. Remember, after this episode, we do have a very special episode coming out. It might be a little bit longer than our normal hour-long format, where we still got to record and edit, but we've been doing a lot of prep for it. So I look forward to getting to incorporate you as well, Vet Draws, now into that as well.
Ooh, I'm interested. Honestly, don't worry about the time, because actually that helps me, because I put the podcast whenever I'm working and I need some background noise. And then when I'm listening to you guys talking to other artists or just doing your thing, like the first few episodes talking about Chainsaw Man, it was just great. It was just like, oh, time went by fast. I was working on this, and then I have to click on another video for the same podcast. So it's really nice. And honestly, you can go ahead and do like 5 hours, and I'll listen to it.
Awesome. Good to know.
Drop in, Andy. We got a lot.
We got a lot of work to do.
Trust me, I use a lot of background noise. I have rewatched Demon Slayer as background noise like 10 times, because I need something about background.
Yep.
So longer episodes would be a nice thing. I know it's a lot of work, but it will be really good, at least for me too, while I'm working on my stuff.
As the editor, I would like to maybe ask that maybe like a 2.5 hour episode. That'd be cool.
Honestly, and you guys should do the what is it, like review by episode right now with Demon Slayer, like you did with
Oh, we
Chainsaw
should.
Man?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
That
that's
was
definitely something
fun.
we'll
That
pick
was
up. Yeah,
fun.
Oh yeah, we could have a
absolutely.
lot to talk about with that coming out. That would definitely get us to the new Jujutsu Kaisen season. We
Yep.
could have a lot of stuff to keep us going for a little bit if we did that.
I love that. Duly noted.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep that up.
Yeah, because Andy told me about, like, coming back to the podcast around the time you were talking about Chainsaw Man, and I was like, I watched the anime, but I don't know a lot about Chainsaw Man, so can we talk about Demon Slayer instead? So, like, it would be really nice, because it's nice to see, like, the point of view from you guys about the episode and what you know about the story, like, in general. So I really enjoyed those episodes, and that will be nice just to have a little bit more of those episodes, or reviewing today's episode of
Absolutely.
Demon Slayer or Jujutsu.
Let's do it. I'm down.
Well, do we already do the outro? Oh,
you did most of it. Yeah, you did most of it.
Well, thank you all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube spiel stuff, and Vet Draws, David, thank you so much for hopping on with us. We cannot tell you enough how much we appreciate it. So see you all in the next episode.
Bye, guys.